Kingdom Come Deliverance, aka one of the only things worth a damn to come out of Kickstarter, is a historical survival RPG. I was recently able to pick up a copy after days of searching, and while I haven't completed the game yet, I'm absolutely loving my time in 14th century Bohemia. I can't help but smile at the amount of love and effort put into every single detail of the game. The developers set out to make a game they wanted to make, and in my opinion, they've succeeded. I can't say for certain if my view will change towards the end, as I haven't finished the game yet, but as of right now, I couldn't be happier. Even if you're just looking to learn something, there are pages on pages of codex detailing all the intricacies of the time period. Hell, my first few hours of the game was just reading the codex. I love history, so getting to learn more about a time period that I'm not too familiar with is awesome. The game early on was also quite challenging. It was hard for me to get used to the combat, although it didn't help much that when I became a squire, all they gave me was a cudgel, and I was too broke to buy a sword. Here you go, Henry, a nice stick for you. Now go kill some fully armored bandits. But after getting my ass kicked time and time again by Captain Bernard, I got the hang of it. And after getting myself a decent sword, I'm kicking some pretty decent ass now. I was surprisingly able to get the hang of the bow pretty quickly too. Whooped Sir Hans's ass at a hunting challenge, that's for damn sure. I also love how it appears that you don't have to be a sword-wielding badass. Want to be a sneaky, stabby Assassin's Creed wannabe? Go for it. Want to be a silver-tongued womanizing rogue? Sure dog, have at it. I also really love the story so far. I won't discuss it too much cause again I haven't beaten it yet, but I love all the characters. I'm really invested in making Henry into an ultimate badass and help him succeed in his quest for vengeance. I also love how this game is dark without having to be dark. You know what I mean? Like a lot of dark stories think it's necessary to be quite literally dark, with a very washed out color palette and just no time for lollygagging at all. But in this case, the game is fucking beautiful. It's so colorful. I love just standing on top of a mound of poppies and looking out into the distance. It blows me away how this game can look so good on such a small budget, and yet most AAA game titles look like ass, have next to no content, and most of their existing content is locked behind a paywall. But back to my point. The game is stunning to look at, and is lighthearted when it needs to be, and painfully brutal in others. One minute you're throwing shit at your neighbor's house, and the next your entire village gets slaughtered by a raving band of savage mercs. Such is medieval life. I know what you're probably all thinking. Well, dude, if you're sucking this game's dick so much, why the hell did you make a My Problem With on it? Well, let me tell you. Gather around, children. So, in one of my many adventures in Bohemia, I came to the town of Sasau. I was following a lead on a bandit hunt that was taking me to the next town over. There were a couple quests I was looking to do in the area, you know, 2 birds with 1 stone kind of deal. So I go to the local tavern, and sure enough, I run into Matthew and Fritz. They were 2 of Henry's friends from the village of Skalitz who survived the attack. I was actually so excited to see them, I literally went, oh shit. I hopped off my horse and ran over to them. So after some catching up and agreeing to help them find some work, they told me a woman named Johanka was taking after some of the Skalitz refugees that also survived the attack, and they said that she needed some help. Well, what better thing of a good man such as Henry to do but to look after his fellow villagers? I go up to the monastery and I'm met with a gruesome sight. People are sick, dying, starving, living in horrible conditions, side by side. It brought me down quite a bit actually. Then there she was, almost like one of the nurses in the movies, taking care of the dead and dying, moving from bed to bed, helping who she can. I thought to myself, this woman is remarkable. So naturally I go to approach her. I want to see what I can do to help, while also bumping into Brother Elias, who won't shut the fuck up about me being in his way. Cunt. Anyway, so I finally speak to Johanka, and right away she's putting up a bit of a cold front, saying how I made it out better than most, blah blah blah. But you know what? She's not entirely wrong. While the Skalitz refugees have been struggling to survive, I've been living it up in Ratai. No blood-soaked beds of hay for Henry, just groshens, wenches, and wine like a 14th century G. So fine, I was totally understanding of her criticism, but I wanted to change her mind. I offered my help in any way I was able to, and although reluctant, she agreed. I immediately went to work. I began hunting for food. I started helping the sick as best as I could. I even forced Henry's illiterate ass to read a book so I can find out what plant I needed to help a quarryman. It was comfrey. It took me forever. I even paid off that motherfucking custodian who had been harassing Johanka for days, probably weeks, just to get some fresh blankets and extra food supplies for the refugees. Johanka had been complaining about this fucking guy pretty much as soon as I walked through the door, but told me not to start a fight because he was the only one willing to house the refugees at the moment. So I swallowed my pride and paid the guy off to help us out some more. So after all this fucking work I did, all the virtual sweat and in-game time I put to help my people and lighten the load for Johanka, what happens? I'll fucking tell ya. So the custodian shows up one day and starts getting at Johanka. He's like, "Hey baby, I got this dinner and guess who's invited? Your fine ass." And then he sees me and he's like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Remembering Johanka didn't want me to fight the guy, I just took a deep breath and looked over my options. I saw one that said, "Why not hold the banquet here?" I thought that was a great idea. So I chose that option and feeling pretty confident I had just done a whole lot of good. What happens? The fucker throws me in jail for a day. What the fuck, dude? I recommend a good fucking deed and I get locked up for that? So that pissed me off quite a bit. And I was like, you know what? Fine. The dude's a hard ass, but I can work through that. So I go back to the monastery and Miss Ice Queen Johanka is there. So I go to talk to her and I'm like, well damn, he's kind of annoying, eh? So keep in fucking mind, Johanka has done nothing but complain about this fucking guy forever. Her response to my comment, well, he's not that bad. What? And if that wasn't bad enough, she drops this line on me. He's been here when you weren't. The fucking balls on you, lady. How fucking dare you? I fully accepted the fact that I wasn't around to help the refugees after the raid on Skalitz, but it's not like I was fucking around the whole time. I've been trying to hunt down the people who were behind the attack. I've bled and killed for Skalitz. As soon as I showed up here, I have been more than willing to help in any way I possibly can. And you, fucking Johanka, going on about, oh, the custodian is always flirting with me, and blah, 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 and wah, wah, wah. Help me, Henry, help me. The fucker threw me in jail for trying to help you, and you're defending his ass? Not only defending his ass, but having the fucking nerve to suggest that he cares more about the Skalitz folk than I do? You got a fucking problem, lady! Have fun setting broken legs and brewing sleep-inducing potions without me, you 2-groschen bath wench. Fuck yourself, I'm going back to Ratai. And that's my one problem with Kingdom Come Deliverance. Don't pretend I'm not here. Okay, maybe it's not my only problem with Kingdom Come Deliverance.